You know that feeling. You just want to start coding something, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then bam, you're hit with installations, setup nightmares, weird errors. Makes you feel like you need an IT degree just to write hello world sometimes.
Definitely been there.
Or like trying to work on a project with someone far away, that whole version control thing.
Yeah, it can get tangled fast.
It's less like a waltz, more like, well, tripping over your own feet. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone.
Not at all.
We've all stared at that blank screen, just wishing the setup part would vanish. So today, we're going to cut through all that. We're diving deep into a platform called Replit. It promises to make coding, well, easier, more collaborative, and maybe even more fun.
That's the idea.
Our mission here is simple. Take an honest, unbiased look at Replit. We'll break down its features, the good stuff, the not-so-good stuff, based on the sources you gave us.
Right.
So by the end, you, listening in, should have a really solid idea if Replit is maybe the answer you've been searching for. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is the need for tools like this, ones that are genuinely easy to get into and really collaborative, and it's just exploding.
Right.
We're in this super connected, often remote world now. Ideas pop up anywhere, talent is everywhere. So being able to just jump into coding, you know, without worrying about your computer specs or where you are, and then instantly share it and work together in real time, that's not just nice anymore. It's becoming pretty fundamental.
Totally.
So yeah, looking at Replit right now feels very timely, very relevant for anyone in tech, or even just thinking about getting into tech without those usual headaches.
It's so true. Those first steps can really put people on. So, okay, strip down. What is Replit?
At its heart, it's an online platform, lets you write code, run code, straight from your web browser.
Okay, so the magic words are no installations, no messy setups.
Exactly. You log in and boom, you're coding. Seconds later.
Wow. That almost sounds like too simple, taking away all that initial pain.
And the why behind it is pretty profound, actually. It really democratizes coding.
How so?
Well, think about it. Powerful computers, they're a luxury in many places.
Sure.
Even here, installing complex software, it's a big hurdle for learners. Replit just flattens that. It's not just another IDE, you know, integrated development environment, the typical coder's toolkit.
Right.
It's more like a cloud-based coding space, really designed to make programming easy and, crucially, collaborative for basically everyone.
So beginners and pros alike.
Yeah, whether you're like just starting Python 101 or you're a pro whipping up a quick prototype without messing with your local machine setup.
Gotcha.
Anyone with a browser, really. It helps build this global community, taking down some of those old barriers, you know, money, tech access.
Yeah, that accessibility really does sound like a game changer, especially for newcomers. But does that simplicity mean it's maybe less powerful for advanced stuff? Is there a trade-off?
That's a fair question. And yeah, we'll definitely get to the limitations.
Yeah.
But let's stick with the strengths for a moment. Because while it is simple, it's surprisingly capable, especially for who it's aimed at.
All right, so besides just being in the browser, which is already huge, what else makes Replit, you know, stand out?
Yeah.
Feature-wise.
Well, one of the really big things is just how many languages it supports.
Right. Our sources mentioned over 50 programming languages. That's a lot.
It's huge.
So Python, JavaScript, maybe something more obscure you're playing with. Replit probably has it.
Chances are, yeah. And that's incredibly freeing.
How does that help day to day?
Well, for a student, right. No need to install 5 different things for 5 different classes. You can just hop from C++ to, I don't know, Ruby on Rails. Smooth as anything. For an experienced dev, quick experiments. Try a new language without cluttering up your main machine.
Right, no setup hassle.
Exactly. It really encourages playing around, broadening your skills without the usual friction. And the ease of use. It's almost invisible. The interface is super clean. Running code, instant. Type, click, see results. That's it.
You could kind of compare it to like a simple text editor, but for code that actually runs.
Yeah, exactly. A superpowered text editor that brings your code to life instantly. No weird setup dances required.
That instant feedback loop, plus all those languages, sounds like a massive boost for learning and just getting stuff done. But connecting this to the bigger picture, what's the real wow factor? The thing that makes Replit different?
Okay, yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the major highlight, the real wow has got to be the collaboration.
Oh, right.
Think about Google Docs, you know? Everyone typing together, seeing cursors move in real time.
Yeah.
Replit does that, but for code. You can invite people, friends, classmates, whoever to code with you, see their cursor, see their changes as they type.
Wow. So it's not just sharing a file back and forth.
No, it's genuine live pair programming or group work.
That's huge.
And there's even built-in chat right there, so you can bounce ideas around, ask quick questions, debug together, all without leaving the window. It's about building this dynamic community, you know, enabling teamwork that usually needs way more setup. It really breaks down those distance barriers for coding together.
That real-time stuff sounds incredibly useful for learning pair programming, remote teams. Yeah, I'm thinking back to college group projects, but way less painful.
Exactly.
But hang on, there's more, right?
Yeah.
Beyond just editing and collaborating, our sources mentioned other powerful things, like AI code suggestions and instant deployment. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. The AI suggestions, that's Replit's Ghostwriter, they're a huge help.
Oh, so?
For a beginner. It's like having a quiet tutor next to you, suggesting syntax, common patterns, cuts down frustration massively.
Like fewer typos.
Yeah, and forgotten function names, that sort of thing. For pros, it's a time saver. Writes boilerplate code, lets you focus on the tricky bits.
Like an assistant right there.
Pretty much. Always ready to help. And then, yeah, instant deployment. This is huge for web stuff.
Right.
Replit can host your project, give you a live URL in seconds.
Whoa. No messing with servers or anything.
Nope. Bypasses all that usual complexity, takes your web app from editor to lev, shareable link almost instantly. It makes putting stuff online way more accessible.
So it's not just coding, it's getting it out there easily.
Yeah.
And what about sharing projects within the Replit community? Our sources mentioned that too.
Yeah, that's key for learning and getting feedback. One click and your REPL, that's their name for a project, is shared.
Repl, okay.
Yeah, so others can see it, give feedback, maybe even fork it and build on it.
Like open source, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. It encourages showing your work, learning from others' code. It really fosters that modern, community-driven way of developing software.
Okay. We've talked a lot about what Replit can do. Sounds impressive on paper, but how does it actually feel to use it? Our sources gave some real-world insights.
Yeah, the user in our sources talked about using it for like actual complex side projects, data analysis stuff with Python libraries, and also group assignments for a web dev course. And the big takeaway, almost zero learning curve.
Really?
Yeah, they said they could just jump in and start coding in minutes. First Python script, setting up a JavaScript front end, none of that usual setup battle.
Wow.
If you've ever lost an hour or 3 just trying to configure a new environment,
Oh, yeah.
oh no, how huge that is.
Oh, yeah. That's time you could be actually building something. And that speed, getting started so fast, it really matters. Especially for new people. It knocks down a big mental block.
How do you mean?
Well, imagine being a beginner. Just setting up feels like a test, right? You're worried you'll break something on your computer, or you get errors before you even write your code. Replit's like a safe sandbox. Experiment, make mistakes, learn without fear.
Makes sense.
Less pressure.
Exactly. It shifts focus from wrestling with tools to actually solving problems. That's where the learning happens. And the user experience also mentioned teamwork being super smooth,
Right.
debugging together, brainstorming,
Yeah.
all in one place. No awkward screen sharing or emailing code snippets back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds much
It
better.
helps you get into that collaborative flow state, which is often hard to achieve otherwise.
It definitely sounds like it takes away a lot of the scariness of starting to code, which is, you know, really important for keeping people engaged, especially students.
Yeah.
But, okay, nothing's perfect.
True.
Our sources did point out some downsides, like performance on bigger projects.
Yeah.
The user noticed things can slow down a bit, complex programs, big files. Maybe that's the trade-off for being all in the cloud.
That could be.
What kind of impact does that slowdown have?
Well, that raises an important question, doesn't it? About balancing the convenience with, like, professional level needs.
A little lag on a small script, maybe no big deal. But for something really big, or something needing a lot of computing power.
Like machine learning.
Yeah, exactly. Or a super high traffic website. You might start feeling that lag in your workflow. Longer waits for things to compile or run. It can break your focus, slow everything down.
Okay, that makes sense. So quick prototypes, learning, probably fine. Heavy lifting, might feel it. What about the money side? Any limits on the free version?
Yeah, that's another thing. The free tier is pretty generous, actually, but some features like private projects, so your code isn't public.
Yeah, important for some stuff.
Right, or extra storage space. Those are usually part of a paid plan.
Standard practice for cloud services, I guess.
It is, but yeah, it could be a drawback if you need everything for free, especially for proprietary work or projects with lots of data.
Gotcha.
And, while it's amazing for learning and quick builds for really advanced production level stuff, it might not replace powerful tools you install locally.
Why is that?
Those local tools often give you more raw power, deeper customization, access to very specific advanced debuggers or profilers, things that might be harder to integrate perfectly in a browser.
So different tools for different jobs.
Exactly. Replit nails one end of the spectrum, the traditional IDEs handle the other.
Okay, so after all this,
Hmm.
what's the final takeaway? The verdict. Overall, Replit sounds, well, fantastic for learning, for working together, for whipping up prototypes quickly online. Really seems to shine at making coding less intimidating and boosting teamwork.
Exactly. For most people, students, hobbyists, folks needing a quick shareable space for side projects or even interviews, yeah, it's absolutely worth checking out.
Right.
It fixed that beginner need perfectly explore ideas, no setup stress, great for group work too.
Right.
But yeah, just remember its limits. If you're building something massive, really performance critical, needing super specialized tools,
Then maybe look at local tools too.
right. It's about finding that balance between the convenience Replit offers and the specific demands of what you're building.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, Replit is this really potent browser-based coding tool. Super convenient, supports tons of languages over 50, and its real-time collaboration is pretty much standout, like coding together in Google Docs.
Yeah.
Awesome for learning, quick builds, group work, getting web projects live instantly. Just maybe keep in mind, for the really heavy-duty production stuff, its cloud nature and free limits mean it might be more of a starting point or a sidekick, not the final boss.
And thinking ahead, with AI in coding evolving so fast, like Replit's Ghostwriter, and this huge shift towards remote work and collaboration, how might platforms like Replit, even with their current limits, really start to reshape, how we teach coding, how innovation happens at the early stages? Could these kinds of tools eventually lead to a completely different way we think about writing and sharing code?
That is definitely something interesting to chew on. A great question to leave you with. If you are a student, a hobbyist, or just curious about coding without the setup pain, seriously, go check out Replit. You might find it unlocks your next big idea.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into Replit. Hope this helps you on your coding journey.